Alright, we're back with part 2 of the video. So today we are going to be finishing up the amp install. Hopefully I'm going to sand the board for it and stain it, and I'm going to wire up the RCAs and the power cables. I'm not running the capacitor because I do need a resistor to charge this to prevent damage to go into it, so I'm not going to do that yet. Plus I want to see if I even get like voltage droppage like before even installing the capacitor, to make sure it's even worth installing. So I'll see if it's actually worth it or not, and then what else am I going to do? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I have to stain it. I already have the RCA ran, and here, let me turn it around for you guys. Yeah, so I already have my RCAs hooked up. I'm gonna find some shorter ones. Right now I have a splitter for each channel. I have this, and the mono amp, the one for the subwoofer, actually has an input and an output on it. So I'm going to input from the stereo here, and then I'm going to output from here to the to this, so that way I don't have to run 2 sets of RCAs. So that's going to work out awesome. But since the RCAs are going to be up in there with the amplifiers, I'm going to have to get some shorter ones, unless I could tuck those away somewhere. And then I already have my power wire and my ground set up for the subwoofer amp. I'm running a distribution power block in the rear, and I already have it fused in the front. I do need to get separate fuses before it goes to each amplifier, which is recommended. So I'll do that after the fact. I'm going to try it out for now, but hopefully nothing screws up or anything. Yeah, so now I'm going to sand this because it is a little scuffed up and everything. I want it to be pretty smooth. I sanded it up, stained it. I got some black stain left over from my workbench. It's basically gonna have a finish like this. This MDF, same exact material. I just had some left over. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, stay tuned. I'm gonna be installing these on the 350Z soon. I'm gonna order a new O2 sensor, and I may be welding in a bong for a air to fill ratio gauge on there as well. So stay tuned for that.
I've got faith in myself and all of the things I do. I don't need no one else to tell me what I can do. If you don't realize all of the things your life can do, you will be left.
I don't know if my other clips were recorded, so I got this cubby out, 10 millimeters all around there to get it out, 2 Phillips head. Watch out for this connector. This connects on the inside of it because there's a light or whatever, so get that out. And then there's this hole right here that this wire runs through. It goes up here to this box, and then it goes out the back side. So I think I'm just going to run the wire in from there down that hole, and I'm going to drill a hole in the cubby. So I got this little glove compartment thing out from the rear. This is basically just like a bunch of 10 millimeters to get it out. 2 Phillips head that go here. Get those out. It's for the little latch. This little plastic piece, I'm not even sure if that has to come out. That goes right there. Got that out. Be careful, there's this connector that goes here that runs to this light. I'm assuming that's what that is. And then there's 2 10 millimeters in the back. Pull that out. Alright, so after you get this out, so what I'm planning to do is, I don't know if this is the best location. I'm going to find out soon. I'm going to drill a hole back here with my step drill bit, basically to the biggest size. This one goes like 1 3/8. If you want to know the exact size, because I want to leave a little room in there. And so yeah, basically just going to drill that all the way through to run the wires down from the top side. I'll show you guys where the wires are going to come from. The wires will be coming from this back side. See where these wires are right here? I'm going to run it through that hole. And then down here, this wire here goes to this. That goes to that light I was telling you about. And then I'm basically just going to run it through there. Then it's going to route back behind the cubby and then go in the cubby. And then that should be where my wires are. Hopefully that's enough space. I mean, I could probably ground the other amp in here somewhere. I have a bunch of spots I can do it. So I may just like route it out here. Like probably tuck it out here and ground it to this screw. Round it out here and then ground it here. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got planned for that. So I'm going to go ahead and drill that and then wish me luck. So yeah, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and drill it. I'm basically just going off of this little line here. It looks like it's center, but on this side of the cubby, not the bottom piece. because you want to leave a little space for the board and everything. So I'm going higher. It's not gonna look as clean, but it's all the way in the back and it's pretty dark, so I doubt you'll be able to see it. So right there. Of course you did. Here, yeah, I'm gonna come back after it's done. Alright, so we're all good on that now. It looks awesome. It looks a little rough from the back side, so I say do it from the back, and then the front side came out like really clean. It almost looks OEM, to be honest. Let's see if I can show you a little closer. And it's pretty centered. Don't worry, I'm gonna clean it out before I throw it back in. I'm gonna go ahead, probably like wipe this down a little bit. It's like really dusty. It's probably never been cleaned. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it so far. Alright, so I have the amps mounted to the board. Looks pretty good. I scratched it up a bit, so I think I'm gonna refinish it on the final installation or whatever. But I'm basically at the point where I have all the wires routed through, and I re-crimped on these little fork connectors that slide up in here. Because the ones I had, I manipulated some other clips and it looked horrible, and I even had a set break. Alright guys, so finally have this in. Take a look at it. So I basically took one wire. I took one wire at a time and like fished it through, and I kind of had them all hanging out through the box, and then I connected them all. Then I started to push them all back in. Now they're all just dangling all behind the box. And I may actually drill a second hole for this one because the wires just for this one kind of filled it up a bit. And I still got like the remote base wire. I already got the remote wire hooked up. I have it soldered onto the one that's in here. I pushed the other end back there, and then I'm gonna do the RCAs different once I get the rest of the stuff hooked up, of course. But for right now, I'm loving the way it looks. It looks pretty clean. Got that back in. These are just honestly in with like some self-tapping screws for now, only like 3. I'm gonna go through and like do that a bit more cleaner before I put everything back together. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and close out the video here. Next video will be me finishing it up, and I don't know if I do a separate video of me painting, but I gotta install like the GPS and like the Wi-Fi thing or whatever, so that way I can actually use the GPS on here. I can't currently use it without that module hooked up, and I have a microphone for it too. I don't know if I'm gonna hook it up. I may hook it up, route it, find a place to hide it in case I don't want to use it. But yeah, alright, so that concludes the video for today. Thanks you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.
Showing how I live too much. Hard on my sleeve, think I give too much.